Hello, good morning. Let us start our class and we shall discuss the EMFT lecture today. And I hope the screen is visible to you. Okay, so good morning, class. Welcome to the virtual class on electromagnetic fields. And we shall be discussing something about the Cartesian coordinate system. Let me share you the whiteboard. Okay, let the other students to join the class and then we may continue our class. You can also ask other students to join fast. Today we are taking the class on Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so we had discussed different types of coordinate system. Different types of coordinate systems, and mostly the most commonly used coordinate system which we are using are only three. One is the Cartesian, and another one is the cylindrical, and the third one is the spherical. So let us do some more questions on cylindrical coordinate system. Some numericals on cylindrical coordinate system. Okay. So today we shall be discussing about the small elements, or you can say very small elements, elements which are also called, they're also called infinite elements, or they are called infinite small components. Infinite small components are elements. Okay, so we shall try to define that. For the Cartesian system, the small element basically are given by dx, dy, and dz. Okay, so if we want to find a small volume, then dv will be equal to dx into dy into dz. If we talk about a small area dA, then it can be either dx dot dy, or it can be dy dot dz, or it can be your dx dot dz. Okay, so we are assuming all these are the vectors. Okay, dx, dy, and dz are vectors here, and they basically tell you the direction also, and the displacement also, or distance also, and they are a very small portion of the major coordinate system. So for Cartesian system, a rectangular system, we have dx, dy, dz. The volume can be calculated by dx into dy into dz, and the area can be calculated by multiplying any of the two infinite small components. But when we talk about cylindrical and spherical coordinate system, then the infinite small components are not so simple. Okay, so let us check the values of the infinite small components when we are using spherical or cylindrical coordinate system. So I hope that it is clear to you and you are able to see the screen. Okay, so you can also ask other students to join fast because the time is going on, and this class is very important also. So better you can join the class. Okay, if any problem you are having, then you can also type in the chat box. Okay, this class is very important. Okay, so you need to tell your friends that they should join the lecture. Okay. So let us move. Let us move toward the whiteboard again. And here we have a cylindrical system. So let us talk about the cylindrical coordinate system. And we will try to find the infinite small components. Infinite small components. Yeah, if you have any problem or you're not able to see the screen, then you can just type on the chat box. Okay, if you are not able to share or see the screen or any problem regarding any topic. Okay, because we are basically covering a very important topic. Okay, uh, and also on the chat box you can type or you can mark your attendance, also your roll number. So I will be taking your attendance in that format. Okay, so we have to find the infinite small components or elements for the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so we will try to discuss that what will be the element for the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so let us draw a cylinder first. So this is our cylinder. Okay, it's a rough diagram, but it will be enough to understand. Okay, let us mark the center. Okay, and we can also draw the front view or the top view. So this is the top view or the front view of my cylinder. Okay, let me change the ink color. Okay, so we know that this direction, if we talk about, this is the z cap. Okay, this direction is the z cap. Okay, if we move on this direction to a small distance, then this will be called dz. Okay, dz will be the finite small component or element along the Z direction. Okay, so if we talk about the front top view, this is the top view or the front view. Then in the top view you cannot show the Z. You can show the Z only by a dot. So this is our Z. Okay, Z cap, which is shown by top view in a form of a small dot. Okay, and this can be taken as our Y cap. Okay, and this can be taken as our X cap. Okay, we don't need to draw this line because this is not applicable because it is a top view. Okay, so I hope my voice is clear to you, and if you have any problem, then you can just discuss on the chat box. Okay, and you can also raise the volume of your mobile phones or computers so you can hear it loudly. Okay, so now what do we have? We have the top view here, and this is our Z cap, and this is our X cap, and this is our Y cap. Okay, and when we are talking about the cylindrical system, then the point P is marked here. Okay, so point P will be moving along the direction of the cylinder. Okay, so what are the different direction of the cylinder? This direction, if we talk about this direction, so this direction is the DR cap or radial direction. Okay, this is called the radial direction or the DR cap. Okay, and to show it here, we show it in this form. Okay, this is our R cap, and the small distance is called dr cap. Okay, and this r cap will basically make an angle phi with the x direction. Okay, and if we know our point p along the r direction, and if we know this angle phi, which is making an angle with the x direction, then we can also find the component along the y direction. The component along the y direction will be our r sine phi. Okay, and the component along the x direction will be our r cos of phi. Okay, and then if we make a tangent along the circle perpendicular to the r direction, then we have the phi cap. Okay, this is our phi cap. Okay, and the small portion is called our d phi. Small portion will be called d phi cap. Okay, so the infinite small component for the cylindrical will be our dr cap, then we have our d phi cap, and then we have our dz cap. Okay, so these are our small components or infinite small elements for the cylindrical coordinate system, right? Now let us take a small portion of the cylinder. Let us cut down a small portion of the cylinder, and that portion will be like this. If we draw it, so this will be our portion of the cylinder. Okay, so that is our portion of the cylinder if we cut it out. Okay, so let me shade this portion. So this is one of the face, and this is the face parallel. These two are the parallel faces, and then we have the top faces and the bottom faces, which will be equal actually, the top faces and the bottom faces. And then at the last we will have our portion along the side. Okay, this will be our side portion. Okay, right? So this component will be our you can say these are the small components or a very small volume, a very small piece of a cylinder, very small piece of a cylinder. Okay, so if we try to uh, locate this point, okay, if we try to locate this point on our top view, then just let me draw it. So this is our top view, and if we'll try to locate the area there here. So this is our point P here, and suppose the point P is moving along the dr length. Okay, it has moved along the dr length, and then it is turning a slight bit along the phi direction. Okay, so and this line will be making a very small angle. This line will be making a very small angle d phi. Okay, so we need to find this length. This length we need to find. Let us mark this with u and v. Okay, so we need to find what is u and v. Okay, so we know that this length is dr. This length is dr, and this length is d phi. Now we need to find the value of u and v. Okay, so what will be equal to u and v? So we can just write it down here. U v will be equal to, okay, u v will be equal to uh, r plus dr. Okay, why r plus dr? Because this is our r, and then we are adding a small length dr. Okay, r plus dr. Okay, so this is our r. This distance is r, and then this distance is dr. So combining that r plus dr into the angle which it is turning, that is that angle is our multiplied by the angle d phi. So r plus dr multiplied by d phi. This will be actual length of uv. Okay, so we can expand this. So it will be equal to r into d phi, or r multiplied by d phi plus dr multiplied by d phi. Now we know that dr multiplied by d phi is extremely small. This is extremely small piece, and we can just neglect this because it's so small, so we can neglect this. So then we can just write our uv length. Uv is equal to r multiplied by d phi. Okay, r multiplied by d phi. Okay, so we got our uv equal to r multiplied by d phi from this approximations. Okay, so I think you are getting the point what I'm trying to do here. And if you might have any queries or any problem, then you can just ask me in the chat box also. This is a quite important derivation for the cylindrical coordinate system, and you need to understand this derivation. Then only you can be able to do more complex numericals on EMFT. Uh, because just to memorize these values is not enough. You have to understand that how we are approaching. What is our approach? Okay. So now we got our UV. Okay, and let us talk about our other length. Okay, so we have our small length UV equal to R multiplied by D phi. Okay, now we should remember that if we talk about the small length, very small length, very small length of a cylinder, of a cylindrical coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, then we can just write the value dl. dl is called the infinite small length. Okay, for the cylindrical system, it will be now you know that for the Cartesian, we know that dl will be equal to dx cap plus dy cap plus dz cap. This will be the small length for a Cartesian or for a rectangular system, where we know that dx cap plus dy cap plus dz cap, dx cap, dy cap, dz cap are the small elements of the unit vectors which are orthogonal to each other along x, y, and z direction. But now if we talk dl for the cylindrical system, then we need to be very careful. We have to take it in this way: dr into r cap. Okay, there is a dr distance along the radial direction. Plus, then we have to take the uv distance. So uv distance is along the tangent. So uv distance is given by r into d phi, and the unit vector applied here is the phi cap, where phi cap is the tangential direction. Plus, we have dz into dz multiplied by z cap, and z cap here is our uh, z axis or the vertical direction. Okay, so here we have the three direction. One is the radial direction, and another one. This is our radial direction, and then we have our tangential direction, and then we have our vertical direction. So these are the three direction for a cylindrical system, and we know that the radial direction is given by r cap in the cylindrical system, and then tangential direction is given by phi cap, and the vertical direction is given by z cap. Okay, right. So that is what we are trying to do here. Okay, so now we got our length element we got. This is our infinite small length element given by dl. Okay, now suppose we want to find small volume. Okay, so small volume is our given by dv. Okay, dv vector. Okay, now we know that for Cartesian the volume dv was very easy. It was equal to dx into dy into dz. Okay, so dx into dy into dz was a small volume, but for the cylindrical coordinate system, it will be entirely different. It's not so easy. So our dv will be equal to, we have to multiply all this. So we have to multiply dr, and then we have to multiply r d phi, and we have to multiply dz. Okay, so multiplying these three elements, we can get the small volume as r into dr into d phi into dz. Okay, so this is our volume. Okay, r dr d phi and dz. Okay, and then if we talk about the area element, okay, the infinite small area element, infinite small area element. So that is that can be given by dA. Now you know that dA will be different. Okay, so now we have if we take into consideration this diagram, this is a small cutout. Okay, this is a small cutout of the cylinder. Okay, if we take this cutout of a cylinder, so we know that we have different faces. Okay, let me color the faces. So this is our side faces. and then we have the top faces and the bottom faces. Okay, and then we have the other adjacent faces. Okay, so we need to deal with all this. Okay, let us draw all this. So this is our top face. Okay, and then this is our side face. Okay, and then we have the third one. Third one will be our this area, the back and the front area. Okay, so let me shade all this faces for a better view. So let us align. This is our top face and this is our side faces. Okay, let me label it. So this is my top and bottom face, and this will be my side face, and this will be my back and front faces. Okay, so let's try to derive the area for these faces. Okay, so if we talk about our upper surface, okay, so the upper area or the top and the bottom face. Okay, so let us check out which are the different elements which we are using here. So one element is the RD5 element. Okay, RD5 element, and then we have the radial element. Okay, we have the radial element and the RD5 element. So we can just multiply RD5 into or multiplied by the radial element. So we can just write down this top and bottom face area will be equal to RDR D5. Okay, so this will be my area DA. Okay, and then if we talk about our front and back, so the element which are involved here is the DZ element. Okay, the DZ element is involved, and then we have again we have our RD5, RD5 element. So we can just write our area element here. DA is equal to R D5 into R D5 multiplied by DZ. Okay, and then lastly, if we talk about our side faces, then the side area we have our DR and DZ. This is our DZ element, and this is our DR element. Okay, so the area will be equal to here TR cap multiplied by DZ cap. Okay, so now we got our three areas. Okay, so these are our three small area elements, for the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so we have one length element given by dr r cap plus r d5 phi cap plus dz z cap. Okay, then we have one volume element which is given by r multiplied by dr multiplied by d phi multiplied by dz cap, and then we have three small area element, first, second, and third. Okay, and these are given by dA for the side face will be equal to dr cap dr vector multiplied by dz vector, and then we have for the top and the bottom face we have our area will be equal to r d5 multiplied by dr or rdr multiplied by d5. Okay, and then we have the back and the front area will be given by rd5 multiplied by dz. Okay, so this is a very important concept for if we are discussing the cylindrical coordinate system, and I just discussed, I just told you, and I showed that how we can actually calculate the small component or element of the uh, directional vectors of a cylindrical coordinate system. So I think you are getting it. Hope it's clear to you. And still the strength is very less. You should tell your friends to uh, connect as fast as they can, because now we are just we can just modify, we can just so then you can just note down this question. Okay, you can just note down, and you can just take a screenshot also. This is an important concept, and you should tell your friends also to join the classes, because this is a quite important class, and I will try to repeat this lecture also in the future classes, because many of them have missed. But anyway, we can just make sure that you understand, and if you have any queries, you can just communicate to me using my email, or you can just communicate to me via chat box or by WhatsApp, whatever is good for you. Okay, and let us try to do one question that I may share with you, and so you may know that why it is important, or what is the use of this infinite small elements. Okay, so try to find. Let us try to find area of a circle using infinite small components. Okay, infinite small components. Infinite small components. Try to find the area of a circle using infinite small components of cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, yes, you should know that the geometrical formulas for all the shapes which we have been discussing, and there was a topic in mathematics in class 9th and 10th, mensuration is a measurement of different shapes and area, and that is also derived from this infinite small components of a different system of coordinates like cylindrical or spherical. Okay, so now I will prove the formula for the area of a circle using the coordinate system. Okay, so let us draw the top view. We will draw the top view of a circle. So this is the top view of a cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so this is my top view, and then let us mark our different axes. So we know that this direction in the top view is our y cap or y axis, and this direction is our x cap or x axis. So we can just assume this direction, and this will be our r cap. Okay, and then let us assume that Okay, let us assume that this angle is our phi. Okay, and we can just assume that there is a point P here. Okay, and it has moved here. Okay, and the angle is given by d phi. The distance of movement is given by dr multiplied by r d phi. Okay, so we will try to find the area of this small element, and then if we found the area of this small element, then we can integrate. Okay, so the total area of the circle will be double integration 0 to r and 0 to 2 pi, because the circumference of a circle is 2 pi, you know that. And we are taking the integration of the element dr multiplied by r d phi. Okay, so we can break this integral into, we can break this integral. We are actually finding the area of a circle, so we will break the integral into two portions, and then we will have 0 to r okay, we will have our 0 to r integral of r dr, and then we have 0 to 2 pi integral of d phi. So we can just try to integrate, and you know that the integral of r from 0 to r is actually equal to r square by 2, and that is multiplied by the integral of phi from 0 to 2 pi is actually equal to 2 pi. So from this we can get the area of a circle is equal to r square multiplied by 2 pi divided by 2, so that is equal to pi multiplied by r square. Okay, so this is our area, and that is the common area of a circle which we follow in all our formula in geometry or the coordinate geometry, and we have derived this formula from these equations. Okay, right? So now you understand that we can derive all these geometric formulas from the cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so let's do one more question. If you have any doubt, you can just ask to me or you can talk to me, and you can just take a screenshot of this view. Okay, you got it now. So now our next question is find the find the curved surface area. Find the curved surface area of a cylinder. Find the curved surface area of a cylinder from infinite small elements of a cylindrical coordinate system. Of a cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so let me draw the cylindrical system. Okay, trying to draw it is a little bit rough. Okay, just print this off and then Okay, right. So here we have our cylindrical system, and what we need to find here, the curved surface area. So what is the curved surface area? So let's take a small patch or a small portion of the curved surface area. This is the small portion of the curved surface area of a cylinder. Now we have to identify that what are the values of this. So you know that this direction is always z cap, and then we have this direction here, it is the y cap, and this direction here is the x cap. Similarly, this is our z cap, we are just replicating it here below also, y cap, and this is our x cap, and therefore we know that this element will be our dz cap, and then this curved element will be our r into d phi cap. Okay, so we can say that our area, curved surface area for this particular portion will be given by r multiplied by d phi multiplied by dz. Okay, so now we just need to integrate this. Okay, so we need to integrate our area, and we are using the surface integral or double integration. Okay, the surface integration or the double integration, and then that will be equal to r multiplied by the integration 0 to the height h, and the second integral we can take the limit 0 to 2 pi, because the point is moving in the two directions, the vertical direction also and the curved direction also, and then we can just take this integral of d phi multiplied by dz cap. Okay, so let us break our integrals. So we will have our r integral 0 to h of dz cap, and then we have the integral 0 to 2 pi integral of d phi cap. Okay, so now we know that this area will be equal to area of curved surface, will be actually equal to r will be like r, and then we have our z, and z will be from integration from 0 to h, so it will be equal to h. Okay, and that is multiplied by the d phi element, which will be integrated along 0 to 2 pi, and that is equal to 2 pi. Okay, so that is equal to 2 pi r multiplied by the height. Okay, so this is the area of a curved surface area of a cylinder, right? So we got that also, and then last question will be the volume of the cylinder. So we can also find the volume of the cylinder. You can just take a snapshot of this screen. Okay, and just keep this in mind, and let me move to the new page, and here we are going to find the volume of the cylinder. Find the volume of the cylinder using using the infinite small element, using the infinite small elements of using this finite small elements of cylindrical coordinate system. Cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, so we know Let me change the pen color and yeah, it will be more visible to you. So we know that the small volume dV is given by RdR multiplied by d phi cap multiplied by dz cap. Okay, or dz vector. So the volume element will be equal to the triple integration of RdR multiplied by d phi multiplied by dz. And let us try to put the limits. What will be the limits on the integral? So because one is the vertical element, so vertical element will be moving from 0 to height h, and the tangential element will be basically moving from 0 to 2 pi, and then the radial element will basically move from 0 to r. Okay, so let us multiply all these three, and we will have our r multiplied by, okay, r will be like r, and then we have dr, the radial element, and then we have the dz, the vertical element. Okay, so let us try to involve all the vectors. So 0 to h for dz element, and then we have 0 to 2 pi for the d phi element, and then we have 0 to r for the dr element, and hence our volume will be equal to the volume v vector will be equal to r multiplied by height multiplied by 2 pi, okay, multiplied by r square by 2. Okay, so that will be equal to pi into, oh, sorry, we don't need to put the r square. It will be equal to, basically it will be equal to r only. Okay. So we have here pi into r square into the height. Okay, so this is our area, or so the volume of a cylinder, and thus we can find many things by using, okay, so we can just find all our geometrical formula using this method. Okay, so now I am ending my class, and I think it's okay for you, and I hope you enjoyed, right? So okay, goodbye to all of you, and take care and be safe in this viral environment. Okay, all the best.